Did you get rich from Genesis? Are you sharing your winnings from chat? I'll get to that. I have a lot of Genesis stories, okay? But the first one I was gonna tell is regarding the boxing, because I was gonna do an IRL boxing stream and people were wondering why it didn't happen. On day 2 of Genesis, I get an invite in the morning from Daniel, AKA Motherfugger. Look, he trained stands, he trained hugs. So this dude hits me up and he's like, hey, do you want to do a lesson? So I'm like, fuck yeah, we're both the Genesis. He's also a smasher. So we do a lesson by the Hilton pool. I show up, I don't have any gym shorts because I didn't think I'd be doing any training. I borrowed Toph's like GameCube controller gym shorts. So I show up in that and a J-Mook jersey because that's the closest thing I have to a gym shirt. Okay, I'm decked out. I'm actually dripping out of my mind while I show up to this fucking boxing lesson. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna teach you how to jab. And I swear to God, everything I'm gonna say is true. He's like, I'm gonna teach you how to jab. And I go jab and I do this. And he's like, wait a minute, that was pretty good. What I think is he wants to compliment my jab so that I feel good about what I'm doing so that I hire him. Either way, he says my jab is pretty good. Okay. And then he teaches me how to do a cross. And he's like, that's not as good. And then he teaches me how to do like a hook. Here's the problem. Okay. First 30 minutes, doing well. He's teaching me some punches. I'm practicing. And then he teaches me how to do the hook. And every time I do the hook, my eyes follow the fist. He's like, all right, you look at me and then the hook goes like this. And every time I do it, I go like this. He's like, no, everything's good so far. Just keep the head straight. I can't do it. And then when I do keep the head straight, the hook goes like fucking way off. I just can't fucking do. It's a real problem. So we can't figure this out. Then at that point, it starts to rain really hard. I am practicing boxing in the rain, which is probably the most badass I've felt in a minute. You know, by the side of the pool, he's got pads up. I'm punching. That was pretty fucking sick. That was pretty, yeah, it was pretty Rocky pilled. So we did that for 25 minutes and then he's like, hey, it's actually really fucking cold. He's like, you know, we've done it for an hour. You want to call it a little early? Cause it was really fucking cold. But I didn't want to be the one. The second it started to rain, I was instantly cold. I instantly felt like shit. And I was like, if this was anyone else, I'd probably be like, let's leave. Let's go inside. Let's call it early. But I didn't want him to think I was a puss. All right. I didn't want to stop. So I'm literally gritting my teeth and just fucking going for 25 minutes. No wonder you're sick. No, because I felt fine the next day. That was only day 2. Day 3, I felt great. Okay. Colds always cook for a day. What are you, fucking doctor now? You're a fucking expert? I boxed in the rain and now I have a cold? Rain, yeah, rain is just a cold shower. Oh, you get in the shower and the water's turned to cold, suddenly you're sick? Really? Let me give you 2 scenarios, okay, Dr. House? Let me give you 2 scenarios of how I could have gotten sick. Number 1, I was outside, got a little rain on me while working out, doing something healthy. Number 2, I was in a crowded bar full of degenerate Smash Bros players. And we were yelling at each other because we couldn't hear for hours and hours and hours at night. No, 100% it was number 2. It was the Smash players. After the tournament is over, I get invited to go to dinner with some streamers that I haven't met before. And so I go out to dinner and I get to meet some streamers that I've never met, including Liam, the Mario 64 streamer, and also, how do you say his name? The French guy. He's awesome. I can't get his name right. Etoile. He's fucking awesome. So I'm sitting next to him and we talk a lot. First of all, I don't recognize him. I'm just talking with him like he's a dude. I just know he's a dude. I don't know that he's a big streamer. And we're talking about just funny things, laughing. And we mentioned some content stuff. And that's when I find out he's a streamer. And he's like, oh, dude, I did this IRL stream where I rented out the Louvre. And immediately I'm like, this guy's like the biggest streamer in France. That's impossible. I'm like almost like thinking I misheard him. And he's like showing me pictures. He literally had the entire Louvre to himself. He's in front of the Mona Lisa with no crowd. That's fucking crazy. That's insane. I mean, that's the coolest fucking stream I've ever heard of. How much did that cost? I asked him, I was like, bro, how much did that cost? He's like, guess what? They did it for free. He's such a big streamer in France. The Louvre gave him that place for free as marketing for kids to be into museums. That's fucking crazy. I mean, this guy's fucking awesome. He's also really funny. He also knows Smash. I know I'm getting along. He's really well. Also, sitting across from me is Connor Dog VA, who I know of, but I've never spoken to. I'm gonna give you my honest thing. I wanna tell you this. I actually met him at Genesis Top 8. This is not the picture, but imagine I'm sitting like right here and Sea-Dog is like right here. And I'm walking over here to get like drinks or go to the bathroom. And he like dabs me up and he's like, yo, I love Marketing Mondays. which is crazy. In my experience, I thought he had no idea who I was. Also, you know, if it's a big streamer, I have no idea. Either they don't know me or they have a bad opinion of me, right? That's the only thing I know. I never used to have this, but I have this anxiety about talking to big streamers because I'm worried they're gonna have some fucking bad opinion of me. But he talked to me. He goes, "What's up? I love Marketing Mondays." And so I'm like, "Oh, well, that's fucking awesome." You know, it was really nice. It was a very nice dinner. I really enjoyed it. Everyone was really nice. And then Liam's sitting really far from me, so I don't really get to talk to him. But then at the end of it, when I'm walking out, like when we're all leaving, I talk to him like, "Yo, Liam, I love your stuff." And he goes, "Wait a minute, I thought you didn't know who I was." Then I tell him, "You're like the funniest streamer at interacting with your chat. You say to chat what every streamer wants to say, but doesn't have the balls." Then he goes, "That's awesome because I saw a clip of you that saw me one time where you thought I was an asshole." And I was like, "Bro, yes, I did." The first time I ever saw Liam, I talked about it on stream. I was like, "Dude, this guy's an asshole." But since then, I watched much more Liam and realized he's very funny. So I told him that. We were at a restaurant that was basically closed, probably had one person working in the kitchen, and there was 7 of us, and we ordered only fucking appetizers to share, and they would come out with one every 15 minutes. Then we went out to the Guild House, which was like this big bar that had everybody partying after the top 8. And again, at a Smash tournament, all of the good players can't drink, except for Mango, until after the top 8 is over. So the whole weekend, they're like in their hotel rooms grinding. And then after Sunday night, they fucking get absolutely shit-faced. Usually the Twitch party would be on like Saturday night. Everyone gets drunk Saturday night. Sunday, you take it easy, then you fly back. But for Smash events, everyone gets fucking pissed drunk Sunday night and tries to figure out life on Monday. So the bar finally shuts down at maybe 2 a.m. and they kick everybody out. I'm trying to find one of our friends and I ask Blur, I'm like, "Blur, have you seen this friend of ours?" And Blur goes, "I just took a huge fucking edible." His eyes are wide like this. "I just took a huge fucking edible, Brandon. I don't know." Blur's of no help. Okay, he's of legitimately no help. His eyes are wide as the fucking moon. I end up going back to the hotel room where we're staying at like 3 a.m. and Scar and BenSW and Toph are all watching Training Day. So obviously I can't go to bed. So I go to bed at like 5 fucking a.m. and I wake up at like 6 a.m. and I'm shivering and sweating. I've instantly gotten a fever. I wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm like, I have chills on my body and there's like sweat in the bed. And I'm like, "Oh shit." So I get a towel and I sleep on that and I keep waking up and I'm like starting to feel fucking worse and worse and worse. You know, I'm super duper feeling shitty the day of. I can barely sleep. And then I wake up the next day. I feel like fucking death itself. We try to go to breakfast. I get out of bed. I try to muster up all my strength to go to breakfast with everybody. It's these long fancy hotel booths with pillows in them. I stack them and I just lay down. They're all talking and having breakfast. I am literally just passed out and I get like a good hour of snoozing in. And then the fucking waitress is like, "Hey, you can't sleep here." I get booted out. So I have to go sit in a fucking chair, basically in the corner and do this. Oh God. Oh. Just head in my hands. Our room is forced checkout by noon. So I can't go back to the room. Everybody leaves except for me and Blur, and Rachel got also pretty drunk the night before. It's her car, so we can't drive until she's ready, and she's not ready till like 4 p.m. Our car is in a bed. We're all hungover. All right, Rachel's in chat. She says 1 p.m. Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. I think it was more like 4, okay? The point is, I'm hungover as all as shit. She shows up. Blur's like Mr. Smiley. We're both hungover. Then we get in the car and we have to drive back 6 fucking hours. And for the first hour of it, they're both having a pretty good conversation and I'm trying to join in, but I feel so shitty I can't do it. So I'm like in the back seat, like just rocking back and forth, trying to like add some jokes to the fucking conversation. We get like an hour and a half, 2 hours in. We stop for the food place. Turns out to be like the best fucking barbecue place I've had in a hot minute. We get delicious fucking barbecue, good cornbread, good ribs, and it gives me life. It briefly gives me life. And for the next 2 hours, I actually feel like a human being again. And then we have a really fucking good combo. It was very fun. We get back. It's like, 8 p.m. It's dark. It's raining heavy. They drop me off in my car. My car is at their place. It's still 45 minutes from my place. I get out, I get in my car, and I instantly feel shitty again. and it's just pouring rain. And I got rained on moving my luggage. So I just sit in my car with the heat on. Like I drive like a little bit and then I pull over. And I sit in my car with the heat on and I put the seat back and I just rock. And like Ari's messaging me like, when are you getting home? When are you getting home? And I'm just like rocking, dude, because I feel so fucking terrible. And then I finally get home. I see Ari and my dog and I feel good. And that's finally good. And I give him a hug and I feel good. But then I feel shitty again. And I lay in bed and I wake up and sweat a bunch of times during the night. It was bad. And then today I feel a little bit better. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna stream. That's where I'm at. That was my story. I don't know if I missed anything from Genesis, but that's the main thing. It was an arc. It was a journey. It was a saga. And it reminded me of how much I love spending time with friends in person. It is the lifeblood and joy of all life. It is the reason we're on this earth. Make time to do it. You'll never regret it.